Good morning, everyone. It's 2026, and we have an active weather day developing across Canada. According to Environment Canada, winter weather advisories are in effect for several regions from British Columbia through Ontario today. The main story is a low-pressure system moving into central Canada, bringing snow, strong winds, and blowing snow to parts of Ontario. We also have dense fog advisories for British Columbia highways, a smog warning affecting 10 communities in Quebec, and extreme cold in the north. Let me break down what's happening, region by region. Starting with the fog situation in British Columbia this morning. Environment Canada issued a yellow fog advisory at 5:49 p.m. Pacific Time yesterday for Highway 97 from Clinton to 100 Mile House. The Trans-Canada Highway from Eagle Pass to Rogers Pass is also affected with visibility dropping to near zero in many locations. This advisory remains in effect through late this morning around 11 a.m. So if you're traveling these mountain routes, exercise extreme caution. You must slow down significantly, turn on your headlights, and increase your following distance when driving through fog. In Vancouver itself, conditions are much better with current temperatures around 11 degrees C and sunny skies expected this afternoon. Those fog patches from earlier this morning are dissipating by noon, so coastal areas will see beautiful weather today. Tonight in Vancouver drops to +3 degrees with clear skies, but watch for fog patches developing again after midnight. Victoria is sitting at 14 degrees today, with mainly sunny conditions while interior valleys continue dealing with persistent fog. Moving to Alberta, Calgary is experiencing warm weather with temperatures reaching 16 degrees today. Just yesterday, nearby Lethbridge recorded 26 degrees, the first 20-degree reading in Canada for 2026 thanks to strong Chinook winds. That was the first 20-degree reading of 2026 thanks to a strong Chinook wind coming off the Rocky Mountains. Today, Calgary is still mild at 14 degrees with mainly cloudy skies, which is well above the normal high of -4 for early February. Edmonton sits at 10 degrees currently and will reach 7 this afternoon with a mix of sun and cloud developing later today. Winds in Edmonton will be gusty this morning, south at 20 kilometers per hour, gusting to 40 before calming this afternoon. In the prairies, Regina, Saskatchewan is dealing with cooler weather at around -10 degrees, with cloudy skies and light snow possible. Winds in Regina will be quite strong early today, southeast at 30 gusting to 50, but they'll ease off by noon. Winnipeg, Manitoba is experiencing very cold conditions this morning with the current temperature 8 degrees C. Current conditions at 2 a.m. Central Time show light snow with north winds at 35 kilometers, making it feel like -18. Today's high in Winnipeg will only reach -16 degrees under mainly sunny skies, but wind chill is the real concern here. Wind chill values will reach -30 degrees C this morning with north winds gusting to 50 kilometers per hour. This afternoon improves slightly to -22 wind chill, but Environment Canada is warning about risk of frostbite at these temperatures. Tonight in Winnipeg drops to -20 degrees, but temperatures will actually rise toward -15 by Saturday morning. However, the wind chill tonight hits -30 again. So proper preparation is essential if you're in Manitoba. Dress in multiple layers, cover all exposed skin, including your face, and limit your time outdoors to only what's absolutely necessary. Now let's talk about what's developing in Ontario, where a low-pressure system is bringing snow and strong winds to the region today. Environment Canada issued a yellow blowing snow advisory at 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday for several areas north and west of Toronto. The affected areas include Owens Sound, Blue Mountains, northern Grey County, and communities like St. Agatha and West McGilly. This advisory describes poor visibility in snow and blowing snow beginning Friday afternoon and continuing into Saturday morning. The system will bring snowfall amounts of 4 to 8 centimeters by Friday evening across the advisory areas. Strong northwesterly winds will develop behind the low-pressure system, with gusts reaching 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. This combination of fresh snow and powerful winds will lead to widespread blowing snow and significantly reduced visibility. Visibility may even be near zero in wind-prone and exposed areas, particularly in open countryside and near Lake Huron. Areas closer to Lake Huron, especially West McGilly, could see locally higher snowfall amounts, possibly up to 15 centimeters. That's because northwest winds blowing across Lake Huron pick up moisture and dump additional snow on the downwind shore. Environment Canada advises keeping emergency supplies in your vehicle, such as extra blankets and jumper cables, during this event. Travel will likely be hazardous due to near-zero visibility, so consider postponing non-essential trips if you're in these areas. For Toronto itself, the situation is less severe, but still notable with snow forecast for today and strong winds developing. Current conditions at Toronto Pearson Airport show -7 degrees at 10:17 a.m. yesterday, with mainly cloudy skies. Today's forecast calls for snow with amounts of 2 to 4 centimeters, which is less than the areas under the advisory. Wind will become northwest 40 kilometers per hour, gusting to 60 late in the afternoon as the cold front moves through. The high today reaches -3 degrees, but tonight plummets to -19 with cloudy skies and 30% chance of flurries. Local blowing snow is possible tonight, with windy conditions continuing, and it's going to feel brutally cold by Friday evening for Goodwood and areas north of Toronto. Environment Canada issued a special weather statement at 6:18 p.m. yesterday. This statement warns of strong winds beginning Friday afternoon, with possible gusts up to 80 kilometers per hour as the cold front passes. Local blowing snow is expected primarily in rural and exposed areas, with very cold wind chills developing Friday night. Ottawa is facing similar cold conditions with current temperatures at -8 and mainly sunny skies this morning. The forecast high today is -5 degrees, with a 30% chance of flurries throughout the day. Tonight, Ottawa drops to -20 with periods of snow developing after midnight into Saturday morning. Saturday morning in Ottawa, we'll see wind chills approaching -25 degrees, making it one of the coldest mornings this winter. Saturday's high only reaches -14 degrees, though we'll see mainly sunny skies as the system moves away. In Quebec, Montreal is currently sitting at -8 degrees with partly cloudy skies and southwest winds at 19 kilometers per hour. Current wind chill is 6 degrees with pressure falling, indicating the approach of the low-pressure system. Today's forecast calls for -8 degrees with light snow developing by late morning into the afternoon. Tonight, Montreal sees steady snow with accumulations of a few centimeters by Saturday morning and temperatures dropping to -12. Saturday will be cold at Easter with flurries ending and skies clearing, followed by a very cold night at -21. Now, Quebec has two separate weather alerts that I need to explain because they affect different parts of the province. The first is a smog warning issued just after midnight at 40 minutes past midnight Eastern Time for 10 communities in the Mauricie region. This includes Viconner, Drummondville, Trois-Rivières, Shawnigan, Victoriaville, Nicolet, and several other communities along the St. Lawrence Valley. High concentrations of fine particulate matter are creating poor air quality, with the primary source being residential wood heating. Wood heating generates more fine particles than industrial activities and transportation, combined during winter months in Quebec. If you have asthma, chronic respiratory conditions, or heart disease, you need to avoid intense physical activity outdoors today. This warning is expected to continue through early to mid-m morning Friday, before air quality conditions gradually improve. Everyone in affected areas can help by limiting fireplace and wood stove use if possible, and using public transit instead of driving. Check your municipality's bylaws because some communities have restrictions on wood burning during poor air quality events. The second Quebec alert is a cold warning for northern areas around Ojabugumu, starting tonight into Saturday morning. This warning was issued at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Time yesterday for extreme cold, with wind chill values between -35 and -40. At -40 wind chill, exposed skin can freeze in under 5 minutes, creating life-threatening risk of frostbite and hypothermia. Conditions will be very windy as well, which is driving those wind chill values down to dangerous levels across northern Quebec. In Atlantic Canada, conditions are improving nicely after weather earlier in the week that affected Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. Halifax is currently at -6 degrees this morning with sunny skies forecast for today, which is a welcome break from recent systems. Tonight in Halifax drops to -10 degrees, with cloudy skies developing, and Saturday brings a 60% chance of flurries. However, there is a coastal flood statement in effect for Monday morning, February 9th, from Yarmouth County to Halifax County. A pronounced storm surge occurring with high tide Monday morning has potential to raise water levels well above normal astronomical tides. Coastal erosion may occur in vulnerable locations, so people near the coast should monitor conditions and avoid shorelines Monday morning. St. John's, Newfoundland is at -1 degree this morning with a few flurries expected this afternoon before skies clear tonight. Looking ahead to the weekend forecast, Saturday is going to be a very cold day across Ontario and Quebec following today's system. Toronto's high on Saturday only reaches -13 degrees, though we'll see mainly sunny skies as high pressure builds in. Saturday night is when we see the absolute coldest temperatures of this cold snap, with overnight lows dropping to -20 degrees. Ottawa could see wind chills approaching -25 Saturday morning, while Montreal drops to -21 Saturday night. This Arctic air mass is really entrenched across central and eastern Canada, and it's going to stick around through the entire weekend. By Sunday, we start to see a slight moderation with Toronto reaching -9 and Ottawa climbing to 14 degrees. The prairies will actually warm up quite nicely by Sunday, with Winnipeg reaching -1 and Regina climbing to around -5. Western Canada continues its mild pattern with Vancouver seeing rain Saturday at 10 degrees and Calgary staying sunny at 13. Now, as we look ahead to Monday through Wednesday of next week, we're monitoring a potential storm system that could affect Ontario and Quebec. The weather pattern suggests a low-pressure system could develop in the southern United States and track northeast toward the Great Lakes. These systems, sometimes called Colorado lows, often bring significant snow to Ontario and Quebec when they track near the region. However, there's still considerable uncertainty about the exact track, intensity, and timing of this potential system. We'll be watching the forecast models closely over the next few days, and Environment Canada will issue advisories if this system develops. Temperature-wise, early next week looks milder across much of Canada, with a gradual warming trend beginning Monday into Tuesday. Toronto could reach -1 by Tuesday. Montreal climbs to -6, while prairie provinces see temperatures approaching 0. Western Canada maintains its above-normal pattern with Vancouver sitting around 8 to 10 degrees, with occasional showers through next week. The longer-range pattern for mid to late February suggests this West Coast mild East Coast cold contrast will continue. We're seeing a persistent ridge of high pressure over Western Canada, keeping temperatures 5 to 10 degrees above seasonal normals. Meanwhile, a trough of low pressure over Eastern Canada allows Arctic air to continue spilling south from the polar regions. One interesting note, we're gaining daylight rapidly now, with most cities adding between 1 hour 15 minutes and 1 hour 40 minutes through February. So to wrap things up, today is an active weather day across Canada, with multiple advisories in effect from coast to coast. British Columbia travelers should delay trips on Highway 97 in Trans-Canada through Rogers Pass until fog clears late morning. In Ontario, areas under the blowing snow advisory should consider postponing travel this afternoon and evening due to poor visibility. If you must travel, have emergency supplies in your vehicle, including blankets, water, food, and a fully charged cell phone. Manitoba residents need to dress warmly today, with wind chill reaching -30 degrees, which can cause frostbite in minutes. Northern Quebec residents should prepare for extreme cold tonight, with wind chills between -35 and -40 degrees. Quebec residents in the Moricet region with respiratory conditions should stay indoors while the smog warning remains in effect. Nova Scotia residents should be aware of the coastal flood statement for Monday morning and avoid shorelines near high tide. This is definitely a developing situation with cold air settling in across central and eastern Canada for the weekend. I'll have daily updates throughout the weekend as we track this cold snap and monitor for any new systems approaching next week. For the latest warnings and advisories specific to your area, check Environment Canada's website at weather.gc.ca. For Ontario storm reports, you can email ONStormEC, GC.cc, or use Storm on social media. For Nova Scotia storm reports, email NStormEC, GC.ca, or use NStorm on social media. If you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on Canadian weather developments. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss updates, especially with this active pattern continuing through the weekend. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe out there today, especially on those roads, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care and stay warm.